Hello boys and girls, welcome to my player ratings for last night's game against Spurs. Wasn't what we wanted, was it? A defeat. But looking at it in the cold light of day, there's no way that was a 2-0 result. There's no way we deserved to lose that game. When you look at it over the balance of play, we had by far the better chances in the game. But Spurs were more clinical. That's simply it. Spurs had 2 chances all game. They took their 2 chances. We had 3, 4, 5 seriously good chances. I can think of 3 in the first half alone. The Mkhitaryan one when he's clean through at 0-0. We've got to take those chances. If we do, we win that game. It's that simple. Wasn't like Spurs played amazing and tore us to pieces. We were the architects of our own downfall. Our defending was shambolic. Absolute schoolboy. Why are we playing such a high line? I know that we've got problems at the back, but seriously, this is stuff you were taught and you learn as a kid in academy football. Come on. And then look what goes and happens. We end up losing the game. And like I said, you'll look in the history books, you'll see 2-0, but it won't tell the full picture of the game. There were some players out there that need to take a long, hard look at themselves. And just nothing seemed to go right last night. Even the atmosphere last night, it didn't feel the same as it did the other week when we played in the league game. Just something was missing all round completely. I think the team selection was wrong. I think that the tactics and the way that everything panned out was wrong. And we've got to take it on the chin. We've got to move on. Do I think that Tottenham are a better side than us? No. We've played them twice. And even though we've won 1 each, we've been the better side in both games. Is there a lot between us? No. They're just a side that have been together longer. They're more clinical. We're not a million miles away and we're not that far from being where we want to be. But right now, we've got injury problems. We're very, very unbalanced. And I do feel that Emery now has an idea of who he wants, who he don't want, and who he wants to bring in. So it's going to be interesting, and we do need to remember this is a rebuilding process. I feel that going 22 games unbeaten may have raised the expectation levels of some people. But this is the objective. This is the objective that it's always been before the season even started. You look at it in total, what's that? 28 games this season, we've only lost 4 games. If you would have said that at the start of the year, given the circumstances, you would have all taken it. So, yeah, there we go. Can't really say much more than that. And I'm going to go and get into the player ratings for last night's game. Starting off in goal, Cech. And do you know what? He didn't have a lot to do. But the thing that annoys me with Cech is his distribution and the way he is with the ball at his feet. He looks so labouring. See the difference massively between him and Leno. But like I said, I'm going to give him a 5. Starting off in the right back position, we've got Ainsley, Maitland, Niles, and this is possibly his worst performance for Arsenal. It was a disastrous performance. His crossing, his shooting, just everything was poor last night. Really, really poor. And I really hope that he can, pick himself up from this, because it wasn't great. It really was not. And for last night, I'm going to give Maitland-Niles a 3. Going to move into the central defensive area first of all. And of course, we started with a 4. And I'm going to go with Socrates. And again, puts himself about, works really hard, but it's just difficult. When you haven't got your natural right-sided player, when you've got a central midfielder coming in next to you, it's not easy. He's not a miracle worker. I think he worked hard, but again, he needs to sort a few little issues out. But for last night, I'm going to give Socrates a 5. Going to move into the next position, and that was Granit Xhaka. And he needs to be taken out of centre defence. Honestly, what is going on? He's not a centre-back. Put him back in central midfield. We had a solid base. Xhaka and Torreira were creating something. Everyone can see it. And then we go into this, and he's put a centre-back. Now, what I will say about Xhaka last night is that he got caught out playing a high line. He's not a centre-back. Remember that first and foremost. Some of his passing was good. Some of his passing was atrocious. So it was a mixed bag. But I can't make no excuses other than the fact that he was playing in a position he shouldn't be. And that needs to be rectified immediately. Put him back in the centre. For last night, I'm going to give Granit Xhaka a 4. Going to move to the next position, and that was Nacho Monreal. Again, not a great performance. Was not offering us a lot down that left-hand side. I think attacking-wise, Kolasinac is better. He gets into those threatening positions better. Defensively, Nacho, I feel, is better than Kolasinac. But last night, wasn't a great performance. Tried, but not great. So I'm going to give Nacho Monreal a 4. Going to move to the next position, and that was Lucas Torreira, a player that worked his bollocks off. Tries and tries and tries and tries. But he's not a miracle worker. Worked hard. Can't expect no more of him. So for last night, I'm going to give Lucas Torreira a 6. Going to move to the player alongside him, and that was Guendouzi. And not a great performance. I think he needs to come out of the team now. He needs a break. He's looking a little leggy. And he's still a kid. And this is a massive step for him from where he's came from to where he is now. He needs to be taken out the side for a bit, given a breather, let him recharge his batteries. You've got to remember as well, this Christmas period, he won't be used to that either. Because where he's been, in France and whatnot, they're not playing over Christmas. So last night, not a great performance, like I said. Really, really poor. And I'm going to give Guendouzi a 3 for last night. Going to move to the next position, and that was Henrik Mcateer, taken off at half time. And I feel that in the first half, what let him down was his finishing. It was absolutely dreadful. But the way he was getting into space, the way he was creating things, I felt he was dangerous. And he looked lively in the first half. So I was a little surprised to see him come off. But for his finishing and everything else, just not good enough, man. It really is not. It's that simple. You're meant to be the experienced head. You should be finishing those chances. For last night, I'm going to give Mkhitaryan a 4. Going to move to the next position, and that was Aaron Ramsey playing in that Mesut Ozil role, and he was so ineffective. Trying little flicks and all sorts and frustrating the life out of me. It was just not good last night. So for Aaron Ramsey, I'm going to give him a 4. Next position, we're going to go with Alex Iwobi. Now, I'm getting sick to death of talking about Alex Iwobi and the debate over what he offers this side. Okay? Simple fact is that he can do some very nice little things. Nutmegs, get himself into great areas. His end product is absolutely terrible. Creating the odd chance here or there is just not enough. Honestly, if we've got aspirations of becoming one of those sides at the top, competing with Liverpool and Manchester City, for example, then right now, Alex Iwobi doesn't get us to that level. Would he get in the Liverpool or Manchester City starting lineup in that position? Look at Leroy Sané, the same age as Iwobi. Look at the end product. It's simple. I'm not digging the boy out. But some people talking about how he was our best player. Behave yourself. Best player. Game were you watching? Running into blind alleys all the time. Absolutely awful. It's as simple as that. Yes, we missed that kind of directness when he went off. But what's the point of that directness when there's no end product? Pretty simple. For last night, Alex Iwobi gets a 4. Going to move to the next position, and that was Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Now, I feel off the ball, he worked hard. He really put himself about. Put some good crosses in. There was that chance that Lacazette had straight after the Spurs' second goal. That was created by Aubameyang. But overall, his play was not that great. Can't say no more than that. We need more, but I also feel we need to start playing to this man's strength. We need to have him and Lacazette together. So for last night, I'm going to give Aubameyang a 4. Going to move to the substitutes. First of all, Laurent Koscielny. Now, he came on at half time, and I am so worried about this because he looks a million miles away from being ready or even being able to play for us again. He doesn't look as quick. He looks like he's lost his leap. Something is not right. And it's as simple as that. And a lot of people are saying he's finished. It's done. He's a liability. And when he came in last night, never offered us anything. And that's meant to be our captain. Last night, Koscielny gets a 4. Going to move to the next substitutions. One of those, of course, was Henrik Mcateer. Didn't really have a chance to make an impact, did he? So I'm not going to mark him. Alexandre Lacazette, I don't know why the guy's on the bench. Honestly, why is he there? He causes problems, he creates things when he comes on. Why is he on the bench? Seriously, can't really say much more. Worked hard, tried. Could he have scored, hit the post? It's one of those ones. But I'll give him a 5 for last night. Going to get into the manager's rating, and I'm going to give Unai Emery a 3. Poor. And it's as simple as that. It's the selections and the tactics last night that was so wrong. Taking Granit Xhaka out of the middle, playing him centre-back. Now, at half-time, when I realised Koscielny was coming on, I thought, right, okay, great. Emery has seen exactly what the problem is. Koscielny's going to drop in next to Socrates, and Xhaka is going to go into central midfield. Lovely jubbly, here we go. But he turned it to a 3 and kept Xhaka in at centre-back. I'm sorry, no, it's wrong. I love Unai Emery. I love what he's brought to this team and within our fan base and given us hope. But it doesn't mean that you can ignore selections that are wrong. We can see it. Granit Xhaka shouldn't be there. He got it completely wrong last night. Completely wrong. And I also think he should not have taken Mkhitaryan off at half time. Wrong. So for last night, he gets a 3. So there we have it. That's my player ratings. It's as simple as that. I'm not happy. But you know what? I'm not overly angry because we created enough chances to win the game and it's not a fair reflection. I'm just annoyed. I'm upset because it was them. Them. It is what it is. We move on. And if you look at our injury crisis, maybe an extra 2 games, yeah, might have been a bit too much for us, especially at the moment. So try and take the positives from it anyway. So if you're new around here, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. I will be back tomorrow, actually, for a preview of the Burnley game, must win. Then there will be the match day vlog after that, and then the player ratings on the Sunday. So until then, I'll see you lot soon. I'm out of here.